It is the morning show you are watching right here on ETV, and you can keep that coffee coming. It is not 8 o'clock yet, and we are heating up Thankful Thursdays with another conversation. We went to the theatre speaking about Sarafina, and now we're going to the big screen, and we are talking to Kgosana Monchusi, and he's proof that passion and purpose makes for explosive storytelling. His latest film, Sterring, fuses 90s action energy with the pulse of modern South Africa, and it's anything just flight. It's a really, really good movie. It's layered, it's local, and it's loud with meaning as well. And thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
This movie sounds, before you've watched it, you can imagine that it's going to be a beautiful story.
Yeah.
It's an action film, but it's also a case study. So why did you decide to focus and tell the story through this very reluctant local hero?
Yeah, so basically for me, Sterring is, when you hear the term, it should straight away give you a flood of just nostalgia. And I really just started from that concept, of trying to capture my childhood. And yeah, that's really what sparked the whole idea of the film, trying to just tell something that I feel like we hadn't seen on South African screens, in a fun way, We all, as kids, wanted to be a Sterring, so I thought this is such a great narrative to kind of, channel that through some action and some comedy and some romance, yeah.
It reminds me of the 90s, and like you were saying, how we grew up. And I think the cinematography and what we're going to see in this film will also remind us of our childhoods. Now, you are telling the story from this guy's perspective. He's going from an underdog to the township legend, and it's kind of also symbolic. What did you feel when creating this character? Because it's also significant living in South Africa and seeing this character progressing in the film.
Yeah, so our lead character, Moremi, he's basically this hero we're gonna root for, right? Because he, like most of us, has a dream, and his dream is he wants to be an action star. And yes, obviously in South Africa, we don't typically make a lot of action movies, so and he doesn't look like the typical muscular action guy. So everybody around him basically belittles his idea and thinks he's just dreaming, which we can kind of all relate to. Someone like myself wanting to be a filmmaker, your parents are like, are you sure you want to go and do that, But he gets this chance encounter where he accidentally saves a celebrity and becomes this overnight sensation. And that kind of propels him into becoming this icon that in this township where people now think there's a Sterring who's gonna basically take on crime, and the criminals are scared to come out, and and that's really just the fun aspect of the film, and that's our character Moremi,
It's so, like I said, it's so reminiscent of the action movies that we watched as children, and the beautiful thing is now there's South African action movie as well. Let's talk about the cast, because if you do romance and action, let's look at the 90s or the early 2000s. The perfect pair was Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, right? For the action vibe, and we still do remember it. So when you looked at casting characters for this film, what did you look for, and how did you get to have the stellar cast on the film? Yeah,
so, comedy is such a difficult thing to kind of really get, because we all have a different idea of what comedy is, right? And South Africa, we're also very bold, expressive, and I as a filmmaker might really nuanced comedy, as well. So it's, but for me, I really was looking for somebody who can have the comedic side of things, but also the heart, because the film has a lot of heart. This guy is gonna get, literally opening scene of the film, we see him as a kid getting bullied. So we need to kind of connect with that. And when we see him as an adult, we need to kind of really understand that this guy's gone through a lot in life. So in the auditioning process, it was really looking for somebody who's not scared to be silly in the humor moments, but not scared to be vulnerable in the very in those soft moments as well. Yeah.
So the great thing about South Africa right now is that we make everything great. We make music great, we make films great, we make theatre great as well. But let's talk about the cinematography of the film, because I think that's one element that I always love about films, how the story is told. So how did you strike a balance between the cinematography flair of the film, but also capturing the township realness to show that we did shoot here, we didn't build the set elsewhere?
So I think that's the most fun I've had, kind of like making a film. I've generally, with my filmography, have made rom-coms or I've made romantic dramas, which are a lot more slower. So cinematography-wise, I already knew I wanted this fun energy of the film. It's a film that doesn't take itself too seriously. So the reference really was stuff I grew up watching, you know, where martial arts movies, kung fu movies, there's those really wild shots where the camera just pushes into somebody's eyes and stuff like that. The camera swings with your action star. If he's jumping off the building, the kind of camera follows him. So I was really tapping into that, which was really fun. And from a locations perspective, we were very set on kind of shooting in Soshanguve, where the film is set. Really wanted that feel of like my childhood, like I said, and Soshanguve still has those low walls, you know, you can kind of peek over your neighbors.
The Vibercrete, like it's like 1.5 meters.
Exactly, and you know everybody around your neighborhood, which we've kind of lost in where I come from, like Soweto. We've become so modernized. So, and filming that, really, it was about having these wide shots that really showcase Soshanguve. So we've got the Soshanguve Stadium in the back, and we've got rotating shots that really, you see the vehicles, you see those like venture taxis that, you know, we don't have anymore in like Soweto.
They have still in Midrand, they have those venture taxis.
They still have like those old school taxis, which I find so fascinating. And I just really love the energy of the place. And it's also got like that really reddish sand that gives it this really cool vintage look, which is really was tapping into like the feel of the treatment of the film.
Now that you were chatting about the feel of the film, I love people who are multi-talented, but also love being multi-talented in different spheres. You've been a composer, an editor, a director. Now, after the years, do you look differently at making films? Because you make this film now, but you also then kind of touch on sound, kind of touch on this. So is it a different experience now, being able to do all these things, but now making the film as a whole?
Yeah, look, I always say filmmaking is, there's no one singular entry point into it, right? So if you come from acting and you become a filmmaker, your strength will be in performance, you know? If you come from editing, you're really gonna see the film as you're making it. You're gonna basically be shooting for edit, you know? But for me, I do come from a music background, so I've just realized that I think very rhythmically, even visually when I'm seeing something, the delivery of actors saying a line to each other, I'm hearing rhythm more sometimes than what I'm seeing. So that is my strength of what I bring in terms of as a director. But you kind of bring all these skills together to kind of have your unique style and voice. And I've managed to somehow kind of weave that all together.
But it's also a great thing for viewers sometimes. I think people also watch films differently as well. Some people might like a line being delivered and then there's like a drum, bam, bam, and you're like, oh, I caught that. That was clever. Where's this film? Where can we watch it? It's almost the weekend, so people are gonna watch movies this weekend.
So you can catch Sterring. It's streaming on Showmax, and came out a few weeks ago. Went to #1 on the week of release. Which I'm so really touched by, and getting a lot of people calling me saying, yo, this film is amazing, man. And so if you haven't seen it, really go check it out. There's romance, there's comedy, there's action, and there's a really cool just vibe of a film that you're definitely going to be entertained at the end of it, which is really the what I really wanted to achieve. Some cool escapism.
100% great escapism. Well done with the film, and hoping that 2025 is great for you further.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
What a wonderful film to watch on Showmax, and it is an incredible cast, like I said, and this film can be watched on Showmax, like I said, almost the weekend, and it's a great couple of minutes to lose yourself in. This is The Morning Show. We'll be right back.